Okay, so we're riding along the north shore at the moment. This is the edge of the Pembroke Parish. To your left, in a moment you will see the beautiful, calm Atlantic Ocean, and then all the way to Iceland and Antarctic. On your right here is one of the schools that I work in, which we've just gone past. You can see me. Hi. Nice to see you all. Thanks for coming. We're heading to the North Shore, and we're going to go to the airport. You can see the Governor's house. Now, the Governor is the Queen's representative here in Bermuda, because Bermuda is an overseas foreign territory, a British overseas foreign territory, and a residential area. And just tacked onto that is one of the churches that we one of the churches I work in. It's just on the hill. It's called St Monica's on the Hill, which is just over there. You might be able to see it. And St Monica's on the Hill is one of our mission churches, we call. It was a church that was set up many years ago to be a mission in this particular area. Okay, this here, the chimney that you can see here on the right, just in front of this car, is our recycling plant. Because we're in the middle of nowhere, it's quite difficult to deal with all the waste that the island produces, and we produce a lot of waste. So it's burnt and turned into electricity. The ironic thing about this waste to electricity plant is it just creates enough electricity to run itself and the water desalination plant that's next to it. But it's a pretty efficient way of getting rid of our trash, and so this is the waste to electricity plant. I have it on good record that they're going to upgrade the turbine, which will make it twice as effective, and it will put water back into the grid. This is the water desalination there, because all of our water comes from the sky. Sometimes, in periods of huge demand, they have to turn seawater into drinking water, and the Williamsons have been drinking rainwater all the week. How have you found that, everybody?
It's terrible, isn't it?
In it. Yeah. Right, we're now going up over the hill here, a place called Barker's Hill, and this is a golf course called Ocean View, and it follows something called the Railway Trail. So that was a bridge for the old railway trail, and this would be considered the worst golf course on the island, but but in comparison to a lot of golf courses I've played in the UK, it's pretty stunning, and you get to see some of the water features, the 9th and the 18th hole. You can see it going on. The thing is, when you're driving through, you have to be careful of not being hit by golf balls.
So Wayne, have you played here?
I have a couple of times, yes.
Wow. Played or played?
Yeah. Well, I haven't really played here. I've hacked here. You can look that way up there, you'll see a nice view up the hill. So that's going to be the first. We're going to be driving through a few golf courses. Okay, so this is what would be considered the worst golf course on the island, and in my opinion it's by no means bad. It's a very good golf course to play on. Where we will be driving through a bit later on two of the best considered golf courses on the island, apart from Port Royal, which is the PGA course at the other end of the island. Earlier on the week, we came to somewhere called Aerial Sands, and Aerial Sands is just up this road here, and we're now coming onto something called the South Shore Road. So we've gone from the North Shore Road, and we've crossed the island, all 1 mile of it, and now we're on the South Shore, and we're going to go on the South Shore now, all the way to Harrington Sound. This is a nature reserve. It's a brackish water lake. And we're kind of getting to the part of the rugged South Shore. The South Shore is where you find all of the great beaches. So yeah, and the reef, Bermuda is notorious for shipwreck, particularly on the North Shore, because of these reefs. People will come along. You can see the reef there quite plainly, and then just beyond that, it drops away very quickly. And so it's quite awesome. And so this is a little bit of a rainbow over there. Now we're coming up to somewhere called John Smith's Bay, which is a lovely little sandy beach, well worth going to. Not too sure what it's like for snorkeling, but it certainly is a nice kind of swimmer's beach, and very pleasant to go to. So that's just round this bend here. It's John Smith's Bay here. Nothing to do with the beer. There we go. View of John Smith's. So we're now going to carry on into somewhere called Tucker's Town, and this is supposedly one of the wealthiest parts of the island. And we're just driving into the golf course now, and like I said, this is mid-ocean and Tucker's. I couldn't tell you where one began and the other started, mainly because you have to remortgage your house to be able to afford to play here. But it's a very, very well manicured part of the island, quite beautiful. Houses are spaced out a lot more, and everything just seems to be a little bit less stressful here. So as we come around this bend here, you'll start to see some of the holes of some of the golf clubs. Particularly nice hole here on your left, with lots of the kind of local palm trees and things like that. Often you'll see someone out for a late afternoon round of golf. Very pleasant. On St George's now. So Tucker's Town is just down here, and then you've got a few more golf courses here. There's a guy on the bike checking his cell phone, which is ridiculous, you stupid man.
Well controlled, right?
Yes. This is a regular problem with motorcyclists. He doesn't even know I'm behind him, does he? And quite often people die. We commonly call these people body part donors. For obvious reasons, they skid along the ground and die because they've been playing with their phone. As you can see, some golfers here. There's some golfers. Some would argue they're body part donors as well, but for other reasons. This town really, and we're coming on to another road which drives up what looks like an inland lake, but it's not actually. It is connected to the sea by a very small channel, and they call this Harrington Sound. Ironically, the ironic thing about Harrington Sound is that, hang on, I'll tell you just as I burn out of this junction. The ironic thing about Harrington Sound is if you have a boat and you moor it on Harrington Sound, the insurance companies will not insure your boat, because apparently when the weather breaks, it's pretty treacherous in there. But it's lovely to snorkel in, and it's also you know, you can see manta rays, stingrays, and all sorts of really interesting fish in there. And as we come up here, we come up to roundabout. So this is the basically joining the North Shore Road again, and we're going to go to past a little inn called the Swizzle.
Oh, more importantly, the ice cream parlour.
Oh, and the ice cream parlour, which is here, yeah. And then this is the ice cream, which is ice cream, and this is the Swizzle. This is supposed to be the oldest inn on the island, and there are two of them. There's one on South Shore. This one is the oldest one. And you can see as we're coming down now, we're coming to something called the Causeway, and the Causeway connects the old part of the island, St George's, St David's, and there's the airport is an all reclaimed piece of land, to the newer part of the island, which is ironic because the island is all the same age, but sort of the colonised part of the island. And it's amazing, you know, obviously being in the middle of the Atlantic, and every now and then a hurricane comes through. The island has a disaster plan, and quite often this causeway will get destroyed, and this is obviously a main artery because you need to get to the airport, which you can see in the distance, and they can rebuild this causeway within 2 weeks, and they have ferry services and all sorts of stuff. So it's pretty amazing really to think that they can recover from a major disaster quite quickly. So, and we're coming to our last little bit now. You can see I think they call this castle something or other, and coming up, and we'll see the airport, and this is where you'll be going when you're coming into Bermuda, or in this case, sad case, returning back home to the beautiful warm climates of the United Kingdom. So here we are in the airport with our 3 dark and stormies, an apple juice, and a hot chocolate. And this is the last final drink of the Williamsons vacation. So Anna, what has your best bit been?
I don't know.
Excellent. That's brilliant. How about you, Zoe? What's your best bit been?
Mine's been the snorkeling and playing with Charlotte.
And Matthew, what about you?
I think the dark and stormy, the snorkeling, and the wonderful two-stroke fumes.
And finally, the lady of the household.
I've loved also the dark and stormy. Cheers. And I've loved Aerial Sands was fantastic snorkeling. Actually, all the snorkeling was fantastic. And I've learned how to ride on a scooter.
She has. She did very, very well.
Much to the men's hilarity. And I wouldn't say I'll do it well, but I've done it, I can say. It's safe to say I can put it underneath my belt.
We have to say the Williamsons have genuinely been amazing house guests, and they're welcome back any time. And we've instructed them to tell only the people we like how good the trip's been. So if we don't like you, they won't be talking to you about coming back to Bermuda. So they've been brilliant, and I wish them well and everyone back at home well, and signing out from Bermuda.